Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Coaching Hour with Mendy. It's 9:30 p.m. Do you know where your kids are? Hopefully, they're joining us here tonight. Very good to see you again. Mary, welcome. How's everyone doing tonight? Nice and quiet.
Okay.
Leon, how you doing? Good to see you, man. So just going to start the show off giving a little bit about how my week's been, and then I want to hear from you guys, see how yours been. You know, we got back from vacation about 2 weeks ago, and sales have really taken off over the past 2 weeks. Tremendous difference. So, we've had $3,000 days within the past week. We're going to hit over $50,000 this month, it looks like. And considering that the first half of the month we were on track to only do a little under 30, we're very happy with that. That's the cost of going on vacation, but that's the beauty of this business, is that we can go on vacation and make the most of it. Our 30 days. So we came back, we went straight back at it, shipped in a ton of product, and we're just hustling. It's Q4 time to pick up those sales. So I wanted to share with you guys an interesting opportunity I had today. I wanted to brag a little bit about this. You may have seen my teaser post about buying $225,000 worth of merchandise. And basically what happened was I was browsing around Craigslist and I came across a store that was shutting down completely. They weren't doing a liquidation sale. They were straight out. The owner was retiring, auctioning off the entire contents of the store, which had inventory value of $225,000, about 2,700 units of merchandise. So we're looking at product that's valued close to the $100 average sales price. And so I went ahead yesterday and I called the auctioneer, found out some more information, found out that the guy was retiring, and that basically he was ready to let it go for whatever he got, or just about whatever he got. So I went down there this morning. The only people there, which was pretty cool, was me, 3 auctioneers, the owner, and one other bidder. Well, it was 2 guys together who were also interested. And I found out some interesting things. First of all, apparently, and I guess I should have known this, but we were kind of standing outside and talking, me and the other guy, and we were talking about, he was more interested in the men's shoes, which the majority of the men's shoes were actually brands, a product that I'd have a hard time selling on Amazon. And so we kind of spoke a little bit about, maybe we split it up, where we each pay half of it. I would actually end up with more of the product than him. He'd take a majority of the men's stuff, yeah, and some of the ladies, and I would take the rest. And the auctioneer came out and heard us speaking, and he says, you guys realize you are not allowed to do that. That is against the law, with a $500,000 and Barry got a collusion with a $500,000 fine for that. And we're like, oops, did not know that. So I said, okay, you know what? Listen, I'm going to go ahead and try to get the whole thing either way, and then afterwards we'll see what happens. And so I did take it down. Winning bid was $24,000 plus the 15% auction fee. So I took down $225,000 worth of merchandise for $27,600 wired to their bank account. And we're talking brand name shoes here. We're not talking about some junk. We're talking about, Sperry. We're talking Teva. We're talking Note. We're talking Merrill. We're talking New Balance, which is restricted, so I wasn't very interested. We're talking all kinds of brand name stuff. And I said to the other guy, Barry, these brands, I've sold most of these brands before, so I'm not worried about that. But that would be misuse of those shoes to kick people with. So anyway, so we're talking about brand name product. I have tomorrow to get rid of it, and it comes with all the store fixtures and all that stuff um, as well, which is pretty cool. Um, so I then turned to the other bidder, and we negotiate a little bit. I told him, hey, I wasn't interested in the New Balance because it was restricted, and there was some other stuff that just the Florsheim. I personally haven't found any Florsheim brand shoes that are a good seal. They tend to rank very high. So I basically sold him about 700 pairs of shoes that to me weren't valued at much at $12,000. So I'm recouping immediately a good portion of my investment, and that 12 is so and I'm still making 50% return on the cost of the shoes that he's paying 12,000 for. My cost, when you break it down, was only 8,000. So profit right there. And now I will say this, and here goes the power of think above your means. Don't be worried about, hey, that's not the kind of buys I've done in the past. Usually I'm just $1,000 buyer, etc. And the reason I say this is because actually, these auctions are cash auctions. You got to come with the cash, and I don't have $28,000 laying around at a moment's notice. But what I do have is I have a network of people I talk to all the time, and so when I presented it to one of these people who I am friends with, and I said, "Hey, I have an opportunity. I think I can get these shoes for a good price. You know, are you interested?" And so, I got an investor to come in on the deal with me to make this happen. And it's a very simple thing. Many people are hesitant about talking to an investor, how you go about getting an investor, and or the investor's going to mess you over, etc. It's a very simple thing. First of all, have your network of people who you've spoken with, who you trust. Okay. Secondly, if you're bringing them value, okay, if you have a deal that has good value, you don't need to sell it to them. Okay, it don't go to an investor with a deal that really isn't going to bring value to the investor, because then you're just not going to do it. But bring them a deal that shows value, and yeah, they're gonna want in on the deal with you. So definitely something I highly recommend. If you come across those opportunities and you don't feel you can do it yourself, take it down yourself, then better to have a piece of the pie than nothing. So, and I promise you, if you've got a good deal and you can't find someone and the deal's good, come to me. We'll work something out. So that was my big thing this week. Um, Tomorrow I've got a 26-foot truck out front. Tomorrow I go down and get it. A couple of cool things I took from my desk from there that were laying around. A nice little paperweight. Since my primary sales are shoes, I thought that was pretty cool, as well as a wine bottle holder. Thought it was pretty cool. Bonus that came with the deal. Selling a few of the displays. I've got someone, giving me a couple of $100 for some shelving units. There was, and let me tell you something that's really nice. And let's see if I can find the picture over here. Was the was their checkout counter was really nice, and if I don't find a buyer, I listed it on Craigslist for 500. But the owner told me he paid $11,000. This is a solid piece of wood. Let me see if I can find the picture of it, because man, it is a nice. Here, let's see how I screen share. Yeah, take a look at that solid wood counter. I mean, that's a piece of beauty. So if I don't get a seller, I'm bringing that into my house. That's going to be my new bar. So, I've sold the purses, sold the flip flops. Got to some of the displays are going. So just trying to make as much money as I can. I've got till tomorrow night to empty the place out. So it'll be a fun day tomorrow. Um, so that's my experience today. So going into Q4, thank you, Leo. I appreciate it. Would love to hear from you guys, bring you on, hear what you guys have to say about Q4, how it's been going for you, what your plans are, where you're struggling, what advice you need. If I don't have the right advice, I'm sure somebody else here can definitely help you out. So who here would like to come on first and come on, Mike? Boy, we got a shy crowd here tonight. Leron, you want to come on, Mike, and on cam? Great. Let me
see my camera. Hold on a second.
Hey, man, what's going on?
What's going on?
Life is good.
Nice find.
Thank you, man. That was, man, let me tell you, I came across it Friday at late afternoon, and I was just sitting there going, my God, I hope I can take this down.
Nice.
I figured liquidation value would be somewhere in the 10 to 20 cent range, so I definitely got it for the lower end of the range of my valuation.
You're going to have somebody helping you pack it?
So we just hired a new assistant. Actually, she started Monday, so she's going to come. Sarah and my assistant are going to join me by the store tomorrow. It's about an hour and a half drive, and we're going to box it up, and then we'll see what displays, will fit in the truck, and what stuff, we've posted some Craigslist ads, whatever doesn't, we're not interested, we'll just leave there. But we've got some people making some of the displays. Hey, make a buck anywhere you can, right?
Right. So I guess do you regularly go on Craigslist and look for store closings? Is that basically how you found it?
I don't regularly. I just, for whatever reason, on Friday, I was sitting there going, I wonder if there's any store closings going on. It was my first time really doing something of the sort. And and shoes is my big thing. 50% of my sales are shoes. So I typed in, I went to Craigslist into the businesses for sale, business section. Under for sale, there's a section that says business. And I just typed in the word shoe. And that popped up. And it was, it just worked out perfect.
Nice. Very nice. I'm right about where you are. I'm close to 50,000.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you only got active again, on your own account. What? 4 months ago?
July.
Right around when I saw you in New York. Now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So dang, good job.
Thanks.
So what kind of sourcing are you doing?
I'm doing RA, and then I've been doing AZ flips, buying out Amazon stock on stuff I think will sell well, after Black Friday.
Okay.
Hoping some of the stuff is already at Amazon and has been selling a little bit, which is a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
I've been buying out. I bought like 300 ugly Christmas sweaters.
Wow.
2 different kinds of sweaters. One I bought for $2 and one I bought for $6.
Was that an AZ Tazy flip?
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually sold my first one yesterday. The one I bought for 6, I sold for 18 and change. That's kind
Nice.
of,
About
yeah, I mean, it's kind of
100% ROI.
where I'm going to keep it. Yeah. Um, and I've been buying, I've been creating some listings also, um, and that have been selling well, clothing
Hmm.
listing, and AZ flips and RA. That's mostly what I've
So
been doing.
on the AZ flips, now, okay, so you bought them for $2 or $6. You know, were those items that were priced that way because they weren't selling well for Amazon, or just end
Uh,
of season? Or I mean, what was the history showing you?
the history, like the $2 item,
Hmm.
the other size, I think I bought out the large. The other sizes were all like 12.99, something like that.
Okay.
And the history showed me that last year, it was selling around 14 or 15 around, Christmas time.
Yep.
Um, and there were good reviews on the item. I think sometimes, depending on how much quantity Amazon has on something, you know, there's certain triggers that make them slowly drop the price over time, or um, I don't know. I mean, I did it on a Halloween costume. I bought in August for $15 and sold for $39.99.
Nice.
Um, and
I
that
always
was
find it funny the ones that where, like you said, where it was one size was reduced to that price, but every other size was regular price. I mean, I did a flip on some Teva sandals back
right.
a while ago. That was same deal, It was one size. I bought like 50 of them for like $10, and every other size was selling for 40.
Right. Those are good signs, because if the rank is good, you know that it's not everyone buying just that one cheap one, right? So that means people are really spending the $40,
Right.
right? If the rank, if the rank is good on it. I mean, with the sweaters, the rank on the sweaters that I bought for $2 right now, it's like 200,000, but it's an ugly Christmas sweater in clothing,
Yep.
right? It's an ugly Christmas sweater. I'm not expecting
By
the
the way,
rank.
200,000 in clothing is still isn't bad
Yeah, it's not. It's
as
not.
long as
It's
it's not going above that.
No, it's not. It's not terrible. But I didn't. I saw that had reviews, and what I looked for was I went back a year, and some of the flips I've been buying, I went back a year to see how many reviews were there. A lot of reviews around November, December last year, and
Wow, brilliant.
if I see it, I saw reviews like January 1st, January 2nd, January 3rd, January 4th, means a lot of people bought it right before.
Hmm.
So that gives me an indication that it's something that was selling, plus the amount of the total amount of like good reviews. So I've been buying out like women's pajamas, kids pajamas, robes, all kinds of things, sweaters, all kinds of things that people could potentially
You
give
bring up
as
a great point. When you're doing seasonal, and typically if I'm looking at reviews, the first thing I look at is quantity of reviews. And shoes,
right,
if it's got a solid amount of reviews, I don't care what the rank is necessarily if the reviews are there, because that
right,
means, and but if there's not that many reviews, I want to see how recent the reviews are, because if the reviews were from 2013, then those are no good. But
right,
if you're doing seasonal, it's not about how recent it is, because if I'm buying right now, it's what are we in October, and I'm buying something that's a spring item, maybe.
right,
Then it doesn't matter what the reviews from now are. What matters is what the reviews last March, April, May were.
right.
So that's a great point.
Right. So that's kind of what I've been doing. I have a lot of inventory in those kinds of in clothing items that I think will do well. Probably. I mean, I don't know yet. I've been buying some toys, also some flips, some Amazon going in and out of stock on stuff, following the Twitter Keep a feed.
Deja
When
de
I'm on my
copiar
computer,
que te
I have
vas a
that.
caer. Siéntate bien.
Let me mute somebody. There we go.
So I've been following the Twitter, keep a feed when I'm in front of my computer, and I've had some toy flips. I've sold some of those toy flips already. You know, I had a third party seller sell an item that's a $35 to $40 item for 10. And I bought like 30 of them, and I've already started to sell. I don't know why they priced it like that, but they're a big seller, so they have their formulas probably.
You know, as you get bigger, you change you kind of change your strategies, and you see it. I
Maybe.
mean, I'm not at the point of that so much, but I'll give you for an example. You know, I was working on a couple of deals. Some of them fell through, some others. You know, I put together the proposals with strategies that included, for example, we were looking at a huge lot of the same. You know, it was like 10 different SKUs of the same item, and we're talking thousands and thousands of units. This was,
Right.
and there was just no way that we're going to sell them all out. You know, in less than 4 months.
Right.
And it was like, well, you know what? I'm going to be the one that owns this market because, first of all, I'm buying it at such a great price relative to everyone else. I mean, to give you an example, the product was selling for about $50, and we were going to pick it up for like $6 or $8.
Right.
And it didn't happen, but I mean, that's what the proposal was based on. And, you know, so it was like, okay, I don't intend to sell every one of these for $50. In fact, I'm not going to sell any of them for $50. I'm going to sell 20% at $40, 20% at 35, 20% at 30. And you know what? I'll even sell 20% at $12, $15. I want to move all of them. And you know what? By moving at those different levels, you know, the end result is I make, 200, 300, 4% ROI. So even though I'm not making it, and, same thing, I've looked at liquidation lots of, say, lingerie or shoes. And, then I don't look at it as, where I'm buying a haul, I'm buying 200, 300 pairs of shoes, for 10 cents on the dollar or whatever. Then I'm not looking at it as, well, this is a $80 shoe, and so I pay 10 cents on the dollar, so it's $8, and so I want to sell it for at least $20, $30. It's kind of like, okay, let's sell the first, month or two, or the first, 20%, etc. Let's sell at maximum value, and then let's drop the price and sell the next 20, 30%, etc. So we're going to make our overall margins are going to be there. It's just, the ones that we're selling towards the bottom of the barrel aren't going to get the same margins as the top of the barrel, but overall, as a group, as a category, Which,
by the way, you're asking about Amazon lowering the price or whatever. I'm sure they have, formulas and why they dropped the price too.
I'm sure they have those formulas too. But, when you look, if you go into any major retailer, okay, you go to Kroger after Christmas. They've got it all calculated that Christmas product, they're going to order X amount of product, over 500 SKUs, and they're going to sell it by, by this date, they're going to sell it for full retail value, and they're going to make this kind of return. And then after Christmas, they're going to sell it, this much of it at 50%. And this much at 70% off, etc. And, so, yeah, it may be that line turned out to be a complete loss for them.
Right.
Okay? Maybe it was a Duck Dynasty gnome that they thought would do well and just didn't move. Okay, but they made the money. They don't look at it as a single SKU. You can't, when you grow the business, you can't really look at it as a single SKU anymore. That this SKU, you got to look at it, whether it's looking at this as a Christmas part of my Christmas purchase, or whether it's looking at it as this is all the product that I bought in January. Just because otherwise you're just going to sit on inventory, which is going to pile up.
Right. So, so, I mean, so for me, I think clothing may be bigger than toys. I don't have that much in toys for Q4, but that, as hot toys sort of show themselves, that might change.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm very curious to see how it goes. I am heavily invested in shoes and clothing are my biggest categories. I mean, let's see,
Right.
month to date. Month to date, I'm 47% shoes, $20,000 in shoes, and then toys is my next biggest category at 9.65%, which is neck and neck with sports and outdoors, which is probably clothing, most of
Right.
sports and outdoors, and clothing. So really, I'm probably about at 18% or so in clothing, which beats toys.
Right. So I'm right there. I mean, I'm clothing. I have 15,946, 35%, and I have shoes at 12,500, 27%, and I have sports and outdoors, 8 grand, 19%. Then toys, 5 grand.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
toys is just not what I focus much on anymore. Let's face it. Come Black Friday and the week before Black Friday and whatnot. I mean, I'm going to go crazy on toys. I did great last year with that, and that's really going to be my biggest push over that. And I know there's before there than there is as well. It's just not my. There's so much money to be made in shoes. The ROI is so much better in shoes and clothing than it is in toys anymore.
Right.
It's changed, and shoes has become my market. I I am Ted Bundy, and I don't know how many of you guys. The funny thing is, I'll bet there's some people in here who are too young to know who that reference was too. But just look up "Married with Kids," and you'll
Talking about Al Bundy.
Al Bundy. Al Bundy. I'm sorry. I am Al Bundy. That was my thought when I bought that store today. Was I am now Al Bundy. I looked at the cheers that came with the place, and I'm like, "Yep." But what was I going to say? But it's going to be very interesting because this is my first Christmas where I am heavy in where I have any shoes. I only started selling shoes back in like.
Are you buying a lot of winter? Are you buying boots now? And
Absolutely. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Yeah, I'm doing the same. Pretty much the same. Same thing.
You got to look at. Here's the thing: you will sell summer stuff as well now. But the way I look at it is, if I'm gonna. The rank criteria and the ROI criteria, if it's a summer item, is going to have to be a lot better than if it's a winter item.
Right.
But those flip-flops and sandals, people are going on vacation. They're still going to buy that.
Right.
In fact, they can't find that at their local Walmart. Bathing suits, some people think that's nuts to sell bathing suits now. Guess what? People go swimming year-round. Where are you going to go this time of year if you're living in New York,
right,
like you do, Leon? Where are you going if you want to go get a bathing suit? Walmart probably doesn't have them, right?
No. You know what?
Macy's doesn't.
I wanted to buy yesterday, or 2 days, Sunday, I wanted to buy a fan, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I went to Bed Bath & Beyond. They don't have them anymore.
They clearanced that out 2 months ago.
Yeah, they didn't have any fans. Only like heating units.
Yeah, I mean it's a seasonal item.
Right.
That's how it is. So those seasonal items that you look at that you think, it's the wrong season, I'm not going to do well with. No, you'll do well with them. I mean, as long as the rank history is there, and worst case scenario, it'll take you a few months, and someone will buy it in April. But usually, a lot of that product you'll sell now.
Right. I bought at Target. They maybe a few weeks ago. They were clearing out, the Swimways product.
Is that like the pool floats?
A float with like a vest, for kids, for babies.
Okay, sure.
They were clearing them out like $4, $5. I bought a whole bunch of them, and they're selling. I still have some, but they're selling consistently. The rank was still like 30,000, 40,000 in toys, and they're selling for $15 to $20. I bought a whole bunch of them.
Well, I'll tell you what. One thing that's beautiful about being down in
Florida,
Miami,
you can get that stuff.
Well, not only that, forget about that stuff. Is that when Marshalls buys a liquidation, let's say of Teva product,
right,
and it's boots, They're distributing it to all their stores around the country many
Right.
times.
Right.
Let me tell you, there's not a market to buy for boots very much in Miami, okay? We don't get snow here,
Right.
okay? Coldest it gets here is I think we hit like 40 degrees overnight, in middle of the winter, for a week we had a cold weather where the highs were like 60s, but there's no market for boots. But that means I can get those boots and I can, and many times they'll be reduced from last year or whatever. And I can sell those boots on Amazon to you guys in New York or Jersey or wherever.
Right.
So, another beautiful thing.
Yes.
But have you been doing much boots?
I see. What's that?
Have you done much boots?
Yes, and they've started to sell. I sold a pair of Ralph Lauren boots this past week for like $160, and I probably paid 60 or 70 for, and I've started to sell. Yeah.
Let's see what kind of fun boots I sold recently.
I sold Fry. You buy Fry there?
That's one thing I've been a little hesitant on that one.
Why?
Because it's an expensive item, which doesn't scare me on its own. But looking through the different sizes, the price seems to fluctuate on Amazon a lot.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I've bought them where either that nobody had that size, or I sold a pair this past week. The margins are really good.
I've sold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pairs of boots in the past 3 days.
Nice. How do you know that? Based on what? How do you know boots?
Well, I could be wrong, but it could be more. But what I did was I did an order search. Here, I'll do a screen share. I searched by product name, typed in boot, and let's change it to last 14 days. Let's see.
Yeah.
This one over here. Bolo at Marshall's.
Right. Yeah. I think I have those too.
I think you do. No, you told me you were getting them now.
Yeah.
I think I was messaging you when you were in the store. And I'm like, yo, you got to get the Teva. You told me you're in Marshall's, and I'm like, you got to get the Teva. And you just sent me back a picture that you already had it in the bottom of your cart.
Right.
So,
yeah.
But
yeah, it's a good brand.
Yeah, Teva's a great brand. I mean, even if it's bad ranking, it's good.
Right. You should bring on. I see Dean is on. You know Dean?
Dean, how you doing? Of course I know Dean. Hey, you want to come on camera?
He's Mr. Periscope.
I know he's not shy.
No, man, I can't do it tonight.
Oh.
He's on audio, just not video.
Okay.
What's the matter? You sitting around in your boxes tonight, Dean?
No, man, I'm laying low tonight.
I hear you. Eric, you want to come on camera?
No, I am not camera ready, my brother.
Boy, we got a shy crowd here tonight. You want to come on audio?
Yeah, I can do audio.
Perfect. Eric, how's your week been going?
Cool deal, man.
Great. Tell us a little bit about what you've been up to.
Man, I've been busy as all get out. Starting to get a lot more wholesale stuff going on. And the only downfall is most of my stuff's coming out of California. And so I got to, wait for the shipping and all that. But I just switched over from shipping everything to CVG3 to their premium placement and been getting stuff sent up to Tennessee. And I sent out the stuff that I sent out last night. I mean, it's inside the Amazon gates today.
Okay. Okay. So you just started with premium placement. I've got an interesting view on that.
I mean, my thing is like I only have about most of my stuff turns real quick, you know.
Yep.
So I've never had to ever worry about the 6 month long-term storage. And as far as the amount of SKUs I have, I only have about 123.
Oh wow! If I only had 123, I'd be so happy. Well,
Well,
I mean, my reason for having, obviously, I need those SKU volume, but
I'm sending in 1,500 a day.
wow, wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
You're
So
really hammering out the same SKUs, just replenishing them.
yeah, that's my thing. Is like like yesterday I just sent out 31 boxes. Today I sent out 22 boxes. And I mean, it's just getting it out there and getting the stuff checked in. And my theory is right now with Q4, everybody and their brother is going to be shipping the CVG3. And I
That's
mean,
a great point. And CVG3 is going to redistribute it, which,
oh yeah,
you bring a good point. If it was going to CVG3, then it can definitely be a reason to avoid it. I don't ship much to CVG3. I do sometimes, but the vast majority goes elsewhere. Um, but
but with the premium placement though, most of my clothing, shoot, it still runs up to ND4 or
so shoes and clothing, yes, some things are going to be exempt from premium placement, such as shoes and clothing, grocery, etc.
yeah. So I mean, it's up there.
But the beauty of it is that you will see one side benefit is from what I remember when I was on premium placement, all your shoes and clothing will go to IND4 instead of some of it going to ONT whatever.
Oh yeah.
ONT6, I think it is, and that that's some value over there.
Yeah,
But,
no, because I mean, I think I had to split my last shipment up to some ONT.
oh yeah, they did split it
Oh
after
yeah.
your premium placement.
Oh yeah, on top of the premium placement. Oh yeah. So I
Got
mean,
it.
and I mean, it's funny. I was talking about stuff that's out of season. I mean, I'm still selling book bags, and I mean,
You know what? Yeah, let's see how many I sold in the past.
I was talking to somebody the other day about book bags, and they're like, you realize after Christmas, kids are getting back going to school after that, and I mean,
I sold 50 backpacks in the past 14 days.
yep. I mean,
People, and you know what? People don't realize that that Christmas is actually a second back to school season.
oh yeah.
So if you've got an opportunity to buy some book bags, jump on it.
Yeah, I mean, now with, yeah, I've been very fortunate to have a good line of book bags. So, I mean, that's been great for us. And groceries, it's still probably tied right now with because I'm always heavy in toys, and groceries right there at it with it now. So, I mean, and I ain't stopping yet. So,
Yeah. Cool.
yeah.
So you've been doing this for a while, Eric. Now, how long have you been selling?
This will technically be my second Q4. So, I mean,
Excited?
yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I'm more game plan ready this time instead of, just being eager beaver walking around the street with it, So, I mean.
We were about to get ready to start focusing on toys, and now with this toy, I don't know if you were on earlier, you heard about my shoe buy?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So now all of a sudden it's changed. Now I've got, now the next week or two is going to be strictly about getting those shoes out. Let's get
That's it.
I mean, we're talking about probably
I
8
started.
pallets worth that's going to be in my house tomorrow.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. No, that's awesome. Hope y'all hope y'all ready to put the work into it, right?
Absolutely.
But no, it's exciting. I just started doing shoes about probably 3 months ago. And I mean, without a doubt, it's definitely an eye opener. So, I mean, you just, it's the reason it's gated. But once you decide to break those gates,
Those gates are easier to get. It's
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, these days it seems like they're easier. I remember getting ungated on shoes. That was a pain. You would send in one file, and they would send it back to you and tell you this, and this was wrong, and then
Oh,
you
yeah.
correct it. And the next person would tell you there's things that you corrected was wrong, that it was supposed to be the other way.
yeah,
You want to know which was the hardest category for me? Which was not the hardest, just the biggest pain?
what's that?
Luggage.
Really?
Because I sat there and I sent in the file. First, I sent in the images, and they sent back, well, 3 of these images are good, but 2 aren't, so we need you to submit 2 more. So I submitted,
Right.
3 more to be on the safe side. And they said, well, these 3 you submitted are good, but we need 5, so you got to send 2 more.
Oh yeah.
You told me to just submit 2 more, but okay. So I submitted all 6 of them, and they wrote back to me that 3 of these were good and 2 weren't.
Oh man.
So finally I sent like 15 images at once. So then they went to the file, and they just kept going back and forth, and finally I just said, you know what? When am I ever selling luggage? Screw it. If I ever have to sell luggage, I'll worry about it then. And
That's it, man.
what do you know? About a month later, I bought some backpacks off of Kohl's. about 50 of these rolling backpacks.
Right.
And even though they were in toys when I bought them, they got moved to luggage. And so I said, okay. So I pulled up the last email I had from Seller Central, and it was really funny because I pulled up that last email and changed everything that they said to change in that email in the flat file. And I had to open a new case to apply. And within an hour of applying, they sent me a message. We need to fill out this flat file. I sent back the flat file. And as soon as I sent back the flat file, literally 5 minutes later, I got the thing that I was approved.
Nice.
So.
Nice, man. Nah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Nah.
But that was.
It works.
Yeah, I mean, I think gated categories are great things to get into. I mean, everyone and their mother is getting into toys. However, I will say this. I think that that the tides are going to start slowing down soon.
Yeah.
And I say that for a reason. Okay, first of all, I started 2 years ago. It was a different environment when I started. It was a hell of a lot easier to get started. It was...
Right.
It was just overall, it was an easier thing to do. You didn't have as many things that needed approvals, etc., etc. You didn't have people taking the prices as much. I mean, you had taking prices, but it just wasn't as much.
Oh yeah, man.
And people were all shooting for much higher ROI, and so now it's harder. So, I mean, I think as it gets harder, for me and you already, so we just need to learn another new trick, and we already know how to do this business, big deal. But if I remember, some of the things when we got started, like the tax settings, that could be up for nights trying to figure that out, or, different stuff. So, I mean, I think it just creates a larger barrier to entry.
Right.
And the larger the barrier, let's face it, people are lazy.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. You can definitely use that to your selling advantage.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, but no, I mean as far as like there's going to be so many new sellers every day of the year coming floating from eBay over to Amazon. I mean that's kind of why I kind of started getting private label in the arsenal, because I mean, if I can get private label, then nobody's on the buy box with me. I might as well do that as well. But I mean, you still stop at one area. I believe in going wide in areas,
Right. Well, that's why I have probably a few thousand SKUs because I go wide. I go wide, but how's the private label been going for you?
It's good, man. It's funny. I actually come your way to get my private label item.
Why is that?
I mean, because I was originally getting private label through China, and then I found a manufacturer down there near y'all, So if I ever need anything, I just turn around and call them, and I just drive down there, pick it up. Then they don't have to pay for shipping or none of that kind of stuff.
I hear ya. What's called? Yeah, I mean, so you're saying it's domestically produced?
Oh yeah,
Get it?
yeah. Oh yeah. I'm able to use the whole made in USA, and
You
I
know,
mean,
that's
like for me when I'm. What?
in my opinion, that's a huge advantage because one of
Oh
the
yeah.
barriers for me on private label, eventually I'm going to get there, and actually, when I do it, it's going to be with investors' money.
Yeah.
But
There you go.
I've had several people tell me already that hey, we've got money that we'd like to invest in something on Amazon, and I'm like, okay, we'll talk. After Q4, we'll talk about doing PL.
Exactly.
And the reason I am hesitant on PL is very simple because a lot of the items, if you're getting from China, you're looking at that money being tied up for 6 months.
Oh yeah.
You're looking at easily 3 months from when you start placing the order until you get it delivered.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you're looking at another 3 months to sell.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, even if I'm getting 100% ROI, still that means I'm only turning that money twice a year.
Yeah, and
I've got so much opportunities where I can turn products. I can turn money 4 to 6 times a year.
yeah.
Even with 60, 70% ROI, which you're still looking at, making more money that way.
Say Raymond's over there. I don't know what's going on there.
Let me. Ramon, what's up? You giving us some static today?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good, good. I'm going to go ahead and mute you. You got some background noise going.
Sorry about that.
No problem. Dean, you got to make it down to Miami one of these days for one of our monthly meetups.
Hey, no, let me know, man. I love traveling 95. As long as it's still open, no, we're good, man.
Where are you located again? Jacksonville?
Yeah, I'm up here in Jacksonville, man.
Okay, yeah. I don't make it up all the way that far. I usually stop about Tampa area.
That's probably the reason why I still got inventory on the shelves, son.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, man.
Hey, listen, I only go to Tampa about once a month. So I promise you, there's still plenty of inventory for other people as well.
No, man. I went down and I went up to Bobby's meetup down there in Orlando.
How was that?
I mean, it was great. We were able to talk, and I love networking with everybody. And because outside of the reselling community, people, I could say, hey, I got the buy box today, and they would look at me like, what in the world is this guy talking about? So I mean, it's good to be able to talk about Amazon to other Amazon sellers because they'll have an idea of what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. Hey, listen, we like to we feel good about ourselves, about the stuff we accomplished, and we want to brag about that sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We want to say about, hey, I took down this deal, whether it's the shoe store today or if it's buying 100 tablets, at 50% off or, whatever it's going to be,
Exactly.
We like telling those stories. How about my $2,000 coffee machine?
Yeah, exactly. No, it's funny. You're talking about coffee and everything. I about had a deal lined up with this company that had a bunch of Keurigs. They had 5,000 Keurigs, and they were all brand new. But I lost the darn deal because the guy wouldn't come down by $3. And I didn't see nobody was going to be able to walk out of there with 5,000. And the darn, at the end of the day, 2 hours later, somebody came up, probably Ross or Marshalls or whoever.
And that's something people don't realize is that, when you're talking about those kind of liquidation deals, Ross and Marshalls, TJ Maxx are competitors. Not in the sales wise, but in the acquiring the product.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, I was about to pull the trigger on it. I mean, yeah, I'd been sitting on, 190 pallets going into next year, but as far as I know, coffee's not going to go anywhere anytime soon.
So was the coffee, not the actual?
No, yeah, it was a Keurig machine.
Oh, it was the machine that you were looking at getting. Wow. What kind of ROI were you going to get on it?
They were selling for 175,
Mm-hmm.
and the guy originally had him at 99, but I told him I needed to be at least at 75%. So that was going to make me, I think it was around 70 or 78, $75 a piece
Mm-hmm.
on everything. And but I was already ready to go ahead and wire the money and everything. But I get a call back from the rep, and hey, somebody told me a long time ago, the good thing about opportunities, there's another one coming right down the line.
Absolutely. And you know what? You may be better off without having gotten that one.
Oh yeah, that's the last thing I want to do is
how many
having all
units
this
was it again?
5,000.
5,000. How many were they moving a month?
Oh, 800.
Oh, that's a decent turn-in product.
Yeah, I mean, I had the warehouse space, I had everything set up, but it was just somebody hit the buy button quicker than I could. So
yeah, and I'll tell you, there are some liquidators that I've come in contact with that
right?
I'm just going to say, you know what, I don't like dealing with that liquidator. Like,
No, heck no.
I don't care that. I'll tell you, I had one liquidator who's out there in some of the Facebook groups, and I decided I really don't like the guy. Um, I was looking at doing a deal with him,
Right.
and I said to him, okay, and I was like, hey, I'm interested in this this item that you said. And he's like, oh, well, you wouldn't want it. It's a heavy item, so it's not good for FBA. And I'm like, what's up with the negativity?
Already.
It's like, don't tell me what I do or don't want. It happens to be that the item was selling for $300. Yeah, it weighed 100 pounds. But at a list price of $99, and I was going to get him down to, if you do a take all, you're not looking at paying the asking price. You're looking at paying less.
Oh no.
That's a lesson for any of you out there who have not done liquidations. Look at that liquidation price as if you're only buying a small quantity, that's what you're going to pay. But if you're going to do a take-all kind of deal, see what they want for the take-all.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
and let them throw out the first number, by the way.
Oh, yeah, and see, this wasn't even from the liquidation company. This was from the grocery chain that's here in Florida, because they got two warehouses. One like kind of close to you, and one is kind of close to me, and everything. So everything was picked up at the distribution centers.
Are you saying Publix?
Yep.
Okay, I didn't. We got to talk. You got to tell me how you're finding those kind of deals with Publix Direct.
Hey, well, if you got a few minutes down there in Miami, and a good place to eat lunch, I'll be more than glad to come down there.
You let me know when you're coming down. It's a deal. What's called?
Right. Sounds like a plan.
But yeah, I hear you. But yeah, this was a funny deal. So I'm like, don't tell. I said, can you get me the barcode? It took him a day to get me the barcode. Then it was like anything I brought up was going to be a challenge. Oh, it won't. It was like I think he asked me to throw out a number. He wanted me to make the first offer. I said, well, $75 sounds like a good take-all price. No, and here's the thing, obviously when you're throwing out numbers, you got to throw something that's realistic enough, but you don't want to throw out your top thing because you got for negotiation. But if I would have tried to offer him $50, then I'm not a realistic buyer, and in which case they're not even going to talk. So he came back instead of saying, "Hey, listen, man, I tried, but the best I can do for you is 82." He says, "Oh, well, I spoke with my boss. It's going to be 82, so you wouldn't want it at that price either way, right?" And I'm like, again, telling me what – it was just like his whole service was just so horrible. It was like, you know what? I finally just, I said to him, you know what? I don't want to do business with you. Goodbye.
Yeah, no. Last thing I want is somebody to tell me how to spend my own money.
Exactly.
I can spend it stupidly by myself, I don't need you to, guide me with it.
When you're a negative person, you're probably not very successful.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do business with you if you're not successful.
Exactly. That's why the Girl Scouts sell a lot more cookies than the Boy Scouts.
I hear ya.
Yeah.
I hear ya.
Yeah, man.
But
But no,
but
man, I'm glad I got a chance to talk to you and everything. I've been meaning to kind of just because I know you're definitely a big name and everything. And I just, you always hear about y'all and everything down there, doing big things. So I just want to tell you,
we
congrats.
try, and anybody can do that. That's the beauty of this business.
Oh yeah, yeah. Would you be on this public access like this, man? I mean, it gives other people, the people that are watching, that hey, if they can do it realistically, I mean, I think you'd be the first to admit this is not an overnight success.
No. Well, and it's a funny thing. And you know what? I remember my excitement when I started. I was like, and I've told this a million times. My first big item. Well, I started with some video games is how I got started. But, the first thing that I really did well with was for Q4 2 years ago, the Razor scooters with the light up wheels from Target. They were $19 Black Friday. Okay, I was only one of like 2 or 3 people on the listing. We were selling them for $130, up to $130.
Wow, there you go.
Depending on the color, some of them sold for $90. I mean, that was freaking awesome. People stay away from it because it's oversized. Idiot.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But and I'm just like sitting there thinking, and we've all had that feeling when we first started. Amazon's just like an ATM. I could do, this is easy. What the fact is, as you build your business, you're going to put in a lot of hours. There's a big difference between being a hobby seller and a full timer. And I look at people and I'm like, anybody can own their own business and be successful and make lots of money.
Oh yeah.
You just have to decide that you'll put the work in that's going to do that for you.
Exactly.
People, a common theme I get from people is, well, I work a full-time job, so I can only source on Sundays. I said, no. Okay. When I started, I worked a full-time job. I worked, there were times that I would get home from work and I'd start working on Amazon, and then I would shower and go back to my regular job.
Oh yeah.
Because I literally worked for 36 hours straight.
That's me. That's me right now. I still own the business that I got that I've had for 2 years.
What business is that?
It sells toner and printer.
Oh, cool. Is it a storefront?
Yeah, it's a storefront called Cartridge World. Oh,
it's a franchise.
Yep. I bought it 2 years ago from the guy that was here for about 10 years. So
are you able to sell any of that on Amazon? I know toner just went restricted, but
I can, but I choose not to.
Why is that?
Margins. I mean, truth be told, the margins are not where you could sell. I mean, the OEM stuff. I mean, you could sell some brother stuff. Mm-hmm. And I mean, the vendors that I have are the same ones that like Staples and all them use. But it's just, you get one person coming back saying that there was an issue with this cartridge. You send it back to your vendor. You got 60 days to send it back to them. But after 3 or 4 of them, you're upside down in it.
I hear you. I'll tell you. I took down a liquidation deal when Tiger Direct went out of business.
Oh yeah.
I did some deals with them.
Yeah, man.
That was one of my biggest months when that went down. But I mean, I took their toner, I think, at like 65% off.
That's awesome.
And let me tell you, I killed it on those. I killed it. We only have one toner that didn't sell, and it was like the off-brand one.
Oh yeah, generic.
And that was out of hundreds.
Oh yeah.
But man, I wish I would have remembered that, because I just ordered a toner, for my printer that I order every couple of months, and I would have ordered it from you instead. No,
you just let me know what you have, man. I've told anybody that if they've ever, as long as they're in the reselling community, like Scanner Monkey and all that, if they ever need toner, I'll give them to them at cost. I'm not looking to profit off of that. I want you to. Let's be one less expenses you need to have,
Man, you're a nice guy. But that's overly generous, Dean.
Nah, man. I mean, trust me. I mean, there's a reason why I can get stuff from Publix. Is because I give them printers.
Nice.
So, You know, so I mean,
Sure,
if I can help out other people, I'll be more than glad to do it. You know.
absolutely, man. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, listen, the businesses. I always say part of being successful is always looking to help other people out.
That's it, man.
Oh
I
man,
agree.
100% my success is because by giving back to the community, people want to help helpful people,
Oh yeah.
you know.
Oh yeah.
So it doesn't matter how small of a seller you are, you can be the guy that started selling on Amazon a month ago, but you can still teach someone who started a week ago.
100%, man. I agree with you 100%.
And we all went through, those of us who are
I
scanner
mean, things
monkeys.
are changing all the time at Amazon.
Yes, they are.
What?
Oh, yes, they are. Did you see they just changed the way they're going to do their metrics? They're going to separate your metrics for MF versus FBA.
No.
Yeah, that was the latest headlines. I believe it was the latest headlines. Beginning in January, they're going to help sellers. What was it? It was, of course, they worded it so nicely so that you could. Oh God.
Are you merchant fulfilling anything?
Hell no.
Me neither.
No. But they worded it so that you can identify any challenges you may have, so that you can easily identify which stream is causing the issues when separating them. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I will say one of the great things about FBA is avoiding avoiding a lot of the hassle that you get with MF.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I get one negative feedback a month or so lately. I'll take that.
Yeah. No, all day long, man.
Yeah. Yeah,
No
my only permanent negative feedback is actually from when I first started and when I MF'd.
Really? How about that?
Yep.
That was lesson learned day one.
And I learned it within 2 weeks of starting, and I very rarely MF.
Wow.
You know.
No. If I can, I had one item that I was MFing, but it wasn't worth the hassle having to leave it always on the stock, and it wasn't moving as fast as I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't want ideally for me, like I said in the beginning, if I can get stuff moving fast, that's the way I do. Because I mean, I'm set up on a 2-week disbursement, so I mean, I know some people are daily or weekly.
I'm with you 2 week, and I've tried to get them to move it to.
Yeah, I've asked every time zone throughout the day if it's possible, and I get a big no. I get no in multiple languages.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I'm still going to harass them every once in a while, but yeah.
Let me know so I can give them a little bit of a break.
I don't know, man. Sometimes they just frustrate me, like turning me down twice for Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, bastards.
I didn't even try. To be honest with you, I mean, I have the metrics for Star Wars, but
My metrics are freaking beautiful, man.
oh yeah, man.
I sold over $130,000 in the past year in toys. I've I've got the 100% feedback and all that. It's like, what's up?
Yeah.
But Ramon was saying that he's got hazmat review products that he doesn't want. It's under hazmat review. Ramon, when did you send them an email last? Send them some emails, and you'll be surprised. It could clear up quickly. I just send them an email saying, hey, this is under hazmat review. This is what the product is. There's nothing hazmat about it. Please clear it up.
I had one come back hit me one time, and they were asking for the MSDS on an item.
So
I just went online and found it and sent it to them, and that cleared me up.
Well, if you're able to find that, great. But many times you can't find it.
Yeah.
They wanted an MSDS on a vacuum cleaner.
Get out of here.
Yep. It was.
Did it vacuum your house and your neighbor's house?
I just sent them an email saying I've spoken with the manufacturer. There's no MSDS for this vacuum, and however, they assured me that there was nothing hazmat about it. That cleared it up.
I mean, I didn't think y'all were that dirty down there in Miami.
Hey, some of the neighborhoods, man.
I think y'all are good though. Y'all are good. But
But,
no, Mendy, man, it was great talking to you, man. I'm gonna jump
yeah,
off
it
here.
was great talking to you. And thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight, coming out 10:35. So I appreciate you guys coming out, hanging out with us tonight. Barry, Dean, Eric, Grace, Ed, Darlene, Barry, everyone else who I may have missed. Ruth, it was great talking to you all. I appreciate you coming on. Heads up, first of all, we want to wish a happy birthday to Scanner Monkey, 2 years old
Heck yeah,
today.
happy birthday.
So happy birthday, Jay. I can't
That's
believe
awesome.
you're not here to celebrate. He's probably getting drunk instead. But any of you guys, I would say if you want a good show, tune in Thursday night to Scanner Monkey TV. It should be an awesome show. It's going to be the 2-year birthday show. I believe there's over $5,000 worth of prizes being given away too, just in case you don't have enough incentive. It should be an awesome show. Tons of us are going to be on. I'll be on for a couple of minutes. Other people are going to be on.
I'll be.
You'll be on, perfect. And I will say that we are giving away. There will be giving away a ticket to the next MDI Con, which we are finalizing dates, but it looks like it's going to be January 10th.
That's
and
awesome.
Anybody here who's been to the first MDI Con knows that was an awesome, the best, just about the best virtual conference you can ever have. Very interactive. So keep your eyes open. You know, put a date mark over January 10th and hold that date.
That's awesome, man.
Well, thank you all for joining me. Ruth, I appreciate that. And thank you, Deborah. And thank you, everyone. Grace, etc. Have a great night, everyone.
All right, buddy.